we have it. 9 minutes. You called it, James, that it will be in that margin. And it is Hikaru Nakamura who wins the bid. Fabi bid 9 minutes, 58 seconds. Hikaru, 9 minutes, 6 seconds. Hikaru will take the black pieces.
Of course he will. I'm not surprised by these bids. I think it was smart bidding by both. Fabiano, he ventured under 10 minutes himself. He's showing that he can play with a time deficit, but that won't matter. He gets the 15 minutes. He gets a 6-minute lead in the clock. The white pieces, but a must-win game.
Yeah. 6 extra minutes on the clock for Fabiano. He has to win. It's must-win for Fabi. He has to do it. Or else, in case of a draw, Hikaru takes the Chessable Masters. We are expecting the first moves any second now. He starts with the English openings, switching it up.
Yeah, switching it up. He has played this before already today, however, not this last move, getting ready to fianchetto the white light square bishop. Yesterday, Hikaru started with 9 minutes 17 against Magnus. Today, 11 seconds lower. Will that make a difference? Okay, pawns off in the center already, still a known position. It's basically a C3 Sicilian, James, with colors reversed.
Absolutely, I can definitely feel that here. And now he has the tempo. He has the extra tempo here, so it is slightly different. You still can play stuff like, I think, knight. I don't know if this is theory. I just know from C3 Sicilian-wise, yeah, that's a move, and also knight a6 was a move too as well. But I like the choice from actually Hikaru taking on c4 there. Taking on c4 is more of like hoping that they take on d8 and you go into a game that maybe could easily, you have drawing chances there for black, which is exactly what Hikaru wants. We draw, we win. We win, we win. So he wants both of those. I'm sure Fabi wants to keep the queens on, as he does, queen a4.
And there's no symmetry. That's the good news for Fabiano Caruana. He needs to win this game. So he doesn't just want a symmetrical structure, a boring endgame where Hikaru can play moves quickly. So that's the good news for Fabi. The bad news is that Hikaru's plan is also relatively straightforward in the early stages. Pieces are harmonious. I think both sides have their chances, but Fabi's going to have to pick up the pace.
Yeah, he really does. He needs to force Hikaru to sit and think. But so far, Hikaru's played all of these moves in about, well, just over 30 seconds. Now the white rooks will centralize, the black rooks will centralize, and neither side really has reason to be too unhappy. But remember, draw odds, huge kind of plus in Hikaru's court here. I don't see any problems. Look at all those black pieces. Perfect centralization.
This is tough.
It's very tough, James, but it is the Armageddon. It doesn't matter if you create something on the board as long as you can keep as many pieces on the board and keep that time advantage. You need to get Hikaru to fall low on the clock, but guess what? Hikaru's taken just 1 minute so far.
Yeah, and don't trade. Keep those pieces on the board. Every exchange guides black closer to that desired draw. And nice move from Fabi, just plonking his bishop in the center. It looks like a statue here, supported by a pawn, and now he'll be happy to drop back. Look at that black dark square bishop, sidelined on the edge of the board.
Yeah, it could get in some trouble over there. And I also like the newly opened light square diagonal. That pawn on c6, it was protected by another pawn. Now the bishop on g2 is a happy piece. So after c5, kicking the bishop out of there, protecting your pawn a7 by attacking. Move your bishop back to the corner. That knight on f3 can hop into e5 or h4 into f5. That knight on e2 will likely jump forward to the f4 square. All of a sudden, white's pieces are aiming in correct directions, and that bishop on a3, it's a wayward piece.
Yeah, and okay, he brings a knight to the edge of the board, but maybe not the knight that you were expecting, Robert. There is a small threat of the white knight jumping into f5, that dream square that we talk about, but it can be easily rebuffed here. It can be easily covered, that post. The knights all look on like they're on weird squares, I've got to say. But the black knights do have an element of control.
Immediately, I was still looking at, obviously, knight h5, knight f5, or reversing knight f5, knight h5. They both don't work, but you do have to know that the idea is there. I just don't have enough pieces. In fact, if I can't do anything about it, it's justified. It makes sense. I can't go knight f5. I can't go knight h5. Sacking doesn't make any sense. I mean, the rook is not activated enough. I only have the queen there. The bishop is not activated enough. Yeah, I mean, but weirdly, as crazy as that is, it just works. And look at that, and the engine is like, you have lost your absolute. That's GG. What is this?
Is this a blunder from Fabiano? He's abandoned his first rank. The black rook can come down now, drop down with a check, hitting the white king. Maybe there's something even stronger. The engine confirms it. Black has a knockout blow. Wow,
What?
Giving up his knight.
Whatever it was, Hikaru doesn't find it.
What was it?
Maybe, I don't know, sacrifice on g3. So many ideas in the air.
Oh, it was knight g3.
Yeah,
oh,
it was.
my goodness.
We have to show this on the board. That was a winning blow for Hikaru. Difficult and understandable that he didn't try to calculate this.
Shoot, take.
Yep, with no time on. The king moves, and I guess the killer blow is the rook coming down to try to trap, checkmate this king. Not obvious.
Rook f2?
Rook f2. You're right, James. Very difficult to calculate.
Man, it's crazy.
Bishop takes bishop, and there's some tricks here. I don't know. It goes on. But this would have been very strong for black. Catching up with the game position, the black king has now parked itself in the corner. I like this, evading any potential checks. And watch out for this to happen again. The black rook could get active later in the game on the first rank. Hikaru's just playing safety first chess, though. This is good practical play. He's not spending 3-4 minutes calculating that move, because if it didn't win, he would have burned all his remaining time. But now the game goes on.
There's also no increment. Yikes, bro.
Dude, that's not a nice-looking move at all. That is not a square where your rook belongs.
Yeah, look at Hikaru's face. He's like, what was that? And this just, honestly, it looks like Fabiano hasn't been in this game from the start. I mean, he played this English. All of a sudden, he had some chance to keep peace on the board. He didn't. That goes against the spirit of the position. But look, F3, and Hikaru is mad at himself because he just allowed the pawn to push forward, and that black knight has to drop back, and suddenly white can expand.
Whoa, not just expand, Robert, maybe sacrifice as well. Suddenly, this knight is kicked away, as you mentioned. If it steps back to the wrong square, I'm not sure which direction you should go, but suddenly there's ideas such as knight takes pawn, boom, breaking open towards the black king. This was so sneaky from Fabiano, and suddenly the white queen springs forward. Everything is falling for black, and the king drops back. You take this pawn. You've got 3 pawns, multiple threats in the air. Maybe winning for white even, and Fabiano's getting excited. How does Nakamura react to this?
Look at him hitting himself
He's reacting on the camera.
He definitely swinging on himself. In fact, a few times there, hitting his head, saying, well, you know, as he says on his channel, moron, right? It's a very bad move there. He just missed it, but also he's moving quickly and there's no increment. So you do have to remember that part too, that they're just moving quick, fast. There's no increment, because if you think and you need time to think here, you will not get any time back per move.
With no increment as well. White threatening to advance that e-pawn further down the board, hitting more pieces, and then bringing the knight into the attack. Hikaru offers a trade. You never trade queens in this position. Falls back. Is he going to push the e-pawn now? Is that the idea?
Got to push something, or maybe sidestep with the white rook. The d-file has been abandoned now. White's rook can activate. Looks very natural to me. Maybe there's something even stronger.
Yeah, I'm looking at e5 because it looks like black has the square under control, but you actually can give up your pawn on that square because the queen is in forking distance of the second pawn. It's very complicated stuff here, but if black takes, can white not just take back, and after queen takes e5, maybe f4 here?
Ooh, a knight f3 doesn't work. It's a bishop f3.
Double attack.
Oh my goodness.
You win material. You win a piece. Okay, he plays a quieter move, maybe equally strong. The evaluation bar does drop, though. I think your move, Robert, was the way to go. And this is the current position. Black's knights are holding things together for now, but it is hanging by a thread for Hikaru Nakamura.
The position is very complicated, so he's trying to find the right move. He sees his queen is attacking a pawn over there. Should not be taken. He goes rook d4. Not a move I was expecting, and the engine hates it.
Oh, that's game over.
What?
Yeah. What the
Doesn't
heck
even
was
stop.
that?
Nakamura's just trying to play on the clock. He's worrying about the 17th piece. He's focused on blitzing this game down, not losing on time. But it was loose for white. Maybe there was a way to punish that white rook hanging in the air like that on a central square, not guarded by pawns. Fabi, I think he needs to back up with his rook. Just retreat it. That white queen is stuck right now where she is defending purely. If Hikaru really wants, he can force the queens off the board. There we go.
That's it. Immediately he finds it. There is no square for the queen. They have to be traded off, and he jumps in with the knight, but it's too late. The c3 pawn is super strong. 2 squares away from queening. The other knight jumps into the attack. It is going to jump further. Hit the rook. The c pawn advances. Fabi in big trouble here.
Yeah, Fabi shook his head. He's been stoic the whole day, but there we did see a small head shake. Maybe that black knight is going to move just to unblock. There we go, gaining time against the white rook. The black rook now ready to jump in over the next couple of turns. Maybe it can even jump in the next move.
Now, yeah, rook d2 is strong. There it is. Yeah, and then bishop e4. Yikes.
Pin and you win. That white bishop is going to be overwhelmed.
Oh, 93. That's a piece. What is going on?
Black is winning a piece.
That's it. You pin it, you double up on it, and that's it. It's game over.
How is he going to fight on? Okay, another knight check, and this black pawn is going to completely paralyze the white pieces, and I think he's had enough.
Knows it. He's reaching out, and there it is.
Hikaru Nakamura.
It's over.
Yeah, he wins.
Hikaru Nakamura is the winner of the Chessable Masters. Fabiano Caruana resigns. What an Armageddon game by Hikaru. He takes the Chessable Masters, and with that also punches his ticket to the finals of the Champions Chess Tour. What a performance by him all day long today.